This Friday, a tall tale of little people and a very unfortunate cookie in the Twilight Zone.
Then on Dallas, some lose a little, some lose a lot.
You gotta believe me that I love you.
And on Falcon Crest, a decision changes many lives.
If he decides to leave the priesthood, Falcon Crest has a new heir.
Friday.
Tomorrow, the Cotton Bowl.
Love for champions. Look to CBS Sports.
From across the nation, the hottest party of the year. With host Al Kermit the Frog, Manhattan Transfer, Louise Mandrell, Sheila E., Cool of the Gang, Exile, CBS's Happy New Year America Live.
I'm Forrest Sawyer. Folk singer Richie Havens looks back at the 1960s, and we'll have a talk with rock star Phil Collins tomorrow on the CBS Morning News.
This is CBS.
The holiday season hits its peak as millions of people in our area gather to celebrate the new year.
Coming up, we'll have team coverage starting with the biggest party of them all in Times Square, and we'll have a look at some of the more lavish ways to bring in 1986.
We'll give you the latest information on tonight's crackdown on drunk driving, and singer Ricky Nelson is killed in a plane crash as he travels to a New Year's Eve concert.
Dr. Frank Field has a forecast for the holiday, and a key player for the Giants gets ready to meet the refrigerator. Next.
What's the big deal in New Jersey? 7.7% APR financing on new 1986 Toyota MR2s, 4x4 trucks, 1986 Nissan Stanzas, 300 ZX and ZX Turbos.
Hey,
where did you come from?
That is a big deal. I'll take the red one.
Well, just visit Glenn Motors Toyota on Lincoln Avenue off Route 208 in Hawthorne, or Leonard Toyota on River Road off Route 4 in River Edge, or Elmwood Nissan on Route 46 West in Elmwood Park.
Well, Christmas is over, but McDonald's is still celebrating.
No, a little higher.
With 6-piece Chicken McNuggets for only 99 cents.
Try it higher.
It's all part of
lower.
Of our New Year's celebration.
Move it to the right.
So join us at McDonald's.
No, move it to the left. More.
From January 1st to the 12th.
Okay, that's perfect.
And help us celebrate.
Sweetheart, what's the matter?
I'm drowning my sorrows.
You are depressing the scenery.
Oh, Mom, I really wanted that job.
I know. But listen, when one door closes, another door opens. I always learn more from my failures than I did from my success.
You mean I can learn from failure?
Yes. Oh, you don't want to get a PhD in it, but you can learn.
I won't drink to that.
There's one soft drink that fits the spirit of today, Diet Pepsi, the one-calorie choice of a new generation.
Channel 2 News at 11 with Michele Marsh. Lester Holt for Rollins Smith. Fred Wymore with Warner Wolf Sports, and Dr. Frank Field with weather.
It's a time to put aside the past and make resolutions to meet new dreams for the future. It is New York's biggest party live in Times Square. Good evening, everyone. We have team coverage of tonight's festivities in the tri-state area, and we begin our night beat coverage with Jane Mitchell, who's standing by live in Times Square. Jane?
Well, I think you can see it, Michelle. There it is, the star of this show, the Big Apple. In less than an hour, that apple will begin to fall. And as we get closer to that apple and that hour, the anticipation builds here. As you can probably tell, a steady rain is falling. It's been falling for about the last 45 minutes, but it hasn't dampened the spirits here. The party goes on. It seems everyone is a trumpet player tonight, and the result is deafening. But what clearly comes through all this noise is the feeling that the world is one. People from just about everywhere you can think of are here tonight, and for the most part, they all seem to be getting along famously.
The whole thing is crazy, but we're loving it.
You love it, huh? Yeah. This is the first time I've been here, and it's so fun to live. I'm so happy. It's great.
The atmosphere is exciting, and everybody's looking forward to the new year.
Police in riot gear are out in force tonight to prevent stampeding, brawls, and assaults. We did see police handcuff this young man, saying he was disorderly. But overall, the crowd seemed well behaved. Some said on the whole, the people here didn't seem to be drinking as much as they'd expected. Yes, all in all, it seems like a grand spectacle. Sort of like New York City putting on a magic show for the world. And it had New Yorkers in this crowd feeling proud of their roots.
It's the best. I love it.
Once again, as we mentioned moments ago, the rain continues to fall. Police actually like this. They say that if there's any rowdiness in the crowd, the rain has a tendency to cool it out. And, of course, the spirits here continue to rise. You will be seeing a little bit of me again before the end of this year. I'll be back later in the broadcast to bring an update on the mood. But for now, reporting live from Times Square, Jane Mitchell, Channel 2 News on the Night Beat. Now let's go to Morry Alter's at the Plaza Hotel.
I feel like the little kid I once was in a small town, hearing the radio announcer guy say, "Welcome to the Grand Ballroom of the Plaza Hotel in New York City." Except it's real, and it's just as neat as I thought it would be. This is Al Jarreau, Manhattan Transfer. This is the big CBS show that's going to be on at 11:30 tonight as they count down in Times Square. It's called Happy New Year, America. We're glad we could be here. Lots of hotel things going on all over town. Earlier tonight on Channel 2 News at 6 o'clock, we showed you the Essex House getting ready. We're not there right now. Shortly, Julio Iglesias will be welcoming in the new year. And you could have been there for only $2,000 per person. There are a lot of other hotel batches going on. A neat one over on Park Avenue. One of my favorite New York City hotels turns out to be a real bargain compared to that Essex House $2,000 per person deal. At the Waldorf Astoria for only $470 per couple, Lionel Hampton. You could listen, you could dance, and you can listen for free for a few seconds anyway. A real trip, huh? There's one other trip that I like in New York City on New Year's Eve. Oh, do you think this is a little more romantic than the parties in the big hotels?
Much better. A lot better.
Oh. Well, listen, Happy New Year. That's my idea of a New York New Year. Isn't that nice? Nice here, too. Nice all over New York City. Forget all the troubles for at least one night. Wish everybody a Happy New Year, as I will to you. Reporting live, Channel 2 News, on the New Year's Eve Night Beat, I'm Morry Alter. Lester?
Morry, have you come up with any New Year's resolutions there yet?
Yeah, remember I announced it earlier. No more 90-cent subway rides for me.
Boy, oh boy, that man is so insightful.
You can explain that.
We will a little later on. Thanks a lot, Morry.
Okay, take care.
Well, not only is it dangerous to drink and drive, but tonight you stand a better chance than usual of getting nabbed by police. All over the tri-state area tonight, police have set up checkpoints for sobriety. If you don't measure up, you could be arrested on the spot. Instead of taking the chance with your life and others, you might want to take advantage of all the free transit fares tonight. All New York City subways and buses are free, along with Metro North and Staten Island trains. And the PATH trains to New Jersey are also free. All this until only 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
And come tomorrow morning, the free ride will not only be over on New York City buses and subways, the ride will cost you an extra dime, too. The tokens will be the same, but riders will have to pay $1 instead of 90 cents. The Guardian Angels, who've been fighting the fare hike from the start, today said they'll be happy to hand over $1, but group members intend to stuff dollar bills in subway turnstile slots. Their fare strike begins at 10 tomorrow morning at Columbus Circle Station.
Apparently, the MTA board members feel that all New Yorkers are just going to roll over, die, bark, and thank Cuomo and the MTA that it's not $1.50 or more. But we would rather look at $1 as the no-turn-back motif and begin to battle now. And our battle will be at the fare box.
The Guardian Angels protest will be just one of the New Year's greetings for Mayor Koch as he enters his third term. His honor will be sworn in at midnight in a private ceremony at the home of his friend David Margolis, and the public pomp and circumstance will take place tomorrow on the steps of City Hall.
To millions of TV viewers in the 50s and 60s, he was known simply as Ricky, the youngest son of Ozzie and Harriet. Tonight, singer Ricky Nelson was killed when his private plane crashed in DeKalb, Texas on the way to a New Year's Eve concert in Dallas. The 45-year-old Nelson was traveling with his band. Only 2 people aboard survived the crash. Authorities say moments before the plane went down, the pilot radioed that the plane had caught fire. Witnesses say the pilot tried to land on a road, but apparently hit some trees. Nelson never seemed to outgrow his apple pie image. He went from the Ozzie and Harriet show to become a teenage singing idol. And since the 70s, his career revived with the formation of the rock Stone Canyon Band. Over the years, Nelson's biggest hits were Mary Lou, Travelin' Man, I'm Walkin', and Garden Party. In recent years, Nelson has been touring country fairs and was hoping to make a comeback in television. Singer Ricky Nelson dead at 45.
Police have released a sketch tonight of the Brooklyn man they say murdered one doctor at Kings County Hospital and may still be looking for another. Police say the suspect, 47-year-old James Miley, was a disgruntled former patient at the hospital. They believe Miley was actually looking for another doctor who had not been identified when he entered the hospital with a shotgun yesterday. But when he couldn't find his target, he allegedly murdered Chief of Surgeons Thomas Pollack instead. Today, other doctors told Channel 2's John Slattery they're afraid.
Security is not adequate here. It isn't? No, because people can roam the halls day and night.
You can walk in this place anywhere you want.
Absolutely.
The doctor police believe was Miley's real target is spending New Year's Eve under police protection.
New Jersey transit officials tonight say they know what caused yesterday's train accident in Hoboken. 54 people were injured when a commuter train failed to stop and crashed into the station. Officials say a slippery gel was left on the tracks and got into the train's brake system. The gel was used in a recent test of train wheels, and apparently it wasn't completely cleaned off the tracks. Officials say they're taking steps to make sure the same thing doesn't happen again.
A shadowy terrorist group makes new threats against Americans.
Still to come on Channel 2 News at 11, as the new threats surface, another group strikes its enemies in the streets of Beirut. And New York City shuts down a notorious sex club for a second time.
Mr. and Mrs. Kenny Arnold, eating Chinese food, eat a golden nugget, Lily Lang Tree special of beef and a peapod. And for you, Kenny Arnold, I see a lemon chicken, excellent choice. For that, is a little nuts and a loquat. She's excellent.
Okay, buddy, let's go.
You don't understand. I run this place. It's me, Steve Wynn.
Right, and I'm Frank Sinatra. Let's go make a commercial.
This is a costume.
Recently, the $12,000 Chrysler LeBaron GTS challenged the trim $4,000 BMW 528e to a high-performance duel. In crucial tests, LeBaron GTS beat the legendary BMW, and it will keep on beating BMW.
Get 8.6 financing or up to $1,000 cash back.
Imagine.
Imagine a greater Fort Lauderdale vacation. Imagine a vacation in greater Fort Lauderdale, even greater than you imagined.
Imagine that.
If you love the taste of fresh squeezed oranges, you'll love the taste of Tropicana Pure Premium Orange Juice. Other brands add water to make their juice from concentrate. We don't. No water, no concentrate. Just pure Florida squeezed juice. That's why it's called Pure Premium. It costs us more to bring you such fresh squeezed taste, but we think it's worth it. Tropicana Pure Premium.
We're Beatrice.
There is an ominous New Year's warning tonight from the Mideast terrorist group, the Islamic Jihad. In a statement mailed to a Western news agency in Beirut today, the Islamic fundamentalist group promised to step up bomb attacks against American and Israeli targets. The group warns that no American warship or embassy is safe. And there were not just threats, but real violence in Lebanon today, the first day of a new peace pact. Lebanese President Amin Jamal was the target of an assassination attempt, but he was not in his motorcade at the time. But one of the negotiators who worked out the new peace plan was killed. And in Rome, police now confirm the Abu Nidal Palestinian terrorist group carried out both airport massacres last Friday. The Nidal group is based in Libya and is implicated in more than 20 terrorist attacks this year alone.
Partygoers won't be ringing in the New Year's at Plato's Retreat tonight. The West Side Sex Emporium was shut down today for the second time in 2 months as part of New York State's campaign to curb the spread of AIDS. Plato's got the padlock after undercover police reported that patrons were engaged in high-risk sex, violating the state ban on such activities in a commercial establishment.
Well, she may be the guru of good sex, but a new book by Dr. Ruth Westheimer has some facts a little bit mixed up. The Good Doctor's sexual information book for teens, which is called First Love, mistakenly tells girls they are least likely to become pregnant during ovulation. But in fact, that's the time they are actually most fertile. Dr. Ruth says she's very upset about this typo. Her publisher is recalling the white-covered book and replacing it with a red-covered version containing the correct information.
Well, Dr. Frank Field has a forecast for the new year.
And we're going to have that more when Channel 2's at 11. Yeah, we are. When it continues from Maplewood, New Jersey, Stamford, Connecticut, and the entire tri-state area. Forgot about the...
Now that you've given gifts to everyone else, give one to yourself. A new Oldsmobile. The Good Olds guys, give yourself a gift sale is going on now. We want to sell 10,000 Oldsmobiles before the new year. The Cutlass Supreme, Cutlass Sierra, and the new Calais are priced to move. Save on every Delta 88, 98, Olds Forenza, and Toronado. You've been generous with everyone else. Now be good to yourself. You have till New Year's Eve to get a new Olds at a special low price.
From the good old guys.
Ever wonder what to do with all those wonderful Christmas presents you never wanted? Return them. And with the money you get back, buy something you can really use. See, American Airlines has these incredibly low winter wonder fares from $29 to $129 anywhere American flies in the continental U.S. If the store won't take the presents back, you can still afford fares this low. And as for this, well, there's always your mother-in-law's birthday.
Life's not always easy, and no one said it's fair.
Only one card provides peace of mind for nearly 80 million Americans, the Blue Cross and Blue Shield card.
But you can find some peace of mind when you hold on to the one that cares. Carry on with the life you're living. Carry the caring card.
Free film with my card.
Got double prints with mine.
Photomat has free film, free prints, terrific discounts with a preferred customer card. Only from Photomat.
I get a free roll for each roll I bring in.
Or a second set of prints free. Bring your holiday film to Photomat for quality prints and big savings the moment you sign up for your preferred customer card.
When it's gotta be right, you know it's Photomat.
President Reagan and Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev will send New Year's messages to each other's nations on New Year's Day. All major U.S. TV and cable networks have agreed to send out the 5-minute taped messages, which were agreed upon at the recent Geneva summit. Mr. Reagan's message is expected to be broadcast in the Soviet Union simultaneously. You can see the messages right here on CBS between 1 and 1:30 p.m.
As we reported last night, the folks in Buffalo are on the verge of breaking a snowfall record. At this time, it is snowing lightly, and they are just 1/10 of an inch away from the Guinness Book, and there is still time. Big night in Buffalo, Frank.
I think they just made it. Yeah, I think they got that count.
They're going to get it. How about you? You're going to have a big night?
We're all going to Julio and Corky's.
Okay.
Corky's invited us, not the Julio with the $2,000.
The other one.
$2
Yeah.
At Corky's.
Okay.
He's very cheap.
Yeah.
First, we do have some light rain out in the area. We're starting out with very mild weather. There's our live camera, and Bill McCurdy is at the controls of our live camera in Times Square. And Bill, we'd like to wish the entire crew a Happy New Year. Can you hear me? Yes, he can hear me. Bill's always listening. There's a little light rain falling, and we expect that's the way it will be through tonight. Let's look at the readings. It's 40 degrees. Imagine. Last day of the year, and we had a high of 49, but things will change. The humidity is 73%, southwesterly winds, rising barometer. That light rainfall is spotted around the entire metropolitan area. There's some heavier rain falling over the south. The latest radar indicates that the line extends just about across the metropolitan area down through the mid-Atlantic states with a few heavier showers dotted in. Back in here is a clearing trend. That clearing trend will come in along with a chilly air mass, so the temperatures tomorrow will average about 15 degrees lower than they were today. Looking at the satellite photograph, you see the large ridge of clear skies covering the western plains and the center of the country. That will move in as the clouds and showers drift out and our winds shift to northwest. Our weather map shows that warm southerly flow of air will bring temperatures once again up to the near 80-degree mark tomorrow. A warm day in Miami, above freezing weather over much of the mid-Atlantic states, and below freezing weather over much of the Northeast, just about to the metropolitan area. Looking at the map itself, southwesterly winds will give way to cold northerly winds. The leading edge of that cold air mass is just about on top of us. Behind it is some fair weather, but seasonably cool weather. And there goes that mild end of the year with a chilly start to the new year. The forecast for tonight, a chance of a few showers. They're already out there. And then a gradual clearing trend tomorrow morning. Temperatures will begin to drop. Tomorrow, we expect a day that will be mostly sunny by afternoon with a high tomorrow between 35 and 40. That's seasonable. And the 5 days ahead, well, they will remain on the cool side. The normal high this time of the year is 40 degrees. And that's just the way it should be, a quiet start to the year. And you folks living north and west of the city, you might even see a few snowflakes during the early morning hours as that moisture hangs in and the cold air moves through, but no problems.
Okay, speaking of cold, Frank, the Giants are getting ready for the refrigerator.
Fred Wymore is next with sports, including hockey action as the Islanders skate against the Red Wings.
Just take home any milk. Take home Delwood.
How's it feel when a game is on the line? It is up to me.
Come on, Buck. We only need one of them now. Come on. Come on, Buck. Just shoot the ball. You can do it. Come on. One more.
Oh, man. I've been here 1,000 times. Settle down. Come on, ball. Come on.
Sports Illustrated. Get the feeling.
You have that way of knowing what to do and what to say. The world looks great when I'm with you. The sky is yours alone. I see you smile, I see you care. Singapore girl, you're a great way to fly.
Warner Wolf Sports, sponsored by Subaru. Inexpensive and built to stay that way.
Last year, car makers spent over $1 billion in advertising just to tell you how wonderful their cars are. Fortunately, there is a more objective opinion, car owners. According to a recent survey of all the cars in America, import or domestic, now, for the second year in a row, car owners rated Subaru second only to Mercedes-Benz in customer satisfaction. And that's the kind of advertising money can't buy.
Get your best deal on a new Subaru this week at your New York, New Jersey Subaru dealer.
The call of feverish football fans is booming across our area tonight. Bring on the Bears. And, of course, we don't mean Grizzly. We are talking Chicago, as in Bears of the playoff variety. And that was the nature of the beast carried to the front door of Giants guard Billy Ard this morning. It was sort of a refrigerator in Bears clothing, a reminder of the 300-pound bear whom Ard will go up against on Sunday, William the Refrigerator Perry.
Like, I had the real refrigerator this Sunday, and now I got something to practice on, I guess, you know?
The fans' message was clear. Perry won't be merry after Ard hits the lard. Oh boy, it's bad.
Well, we'll find out on Sunday. Let's find out tonight if local sports fans have anything to celebrate about. Warner has the night off, and Fred Wymore joins us.
Thank you, Lester. Happy New Year, everyone. The Islanders celebrating in Detroit tonight, where they topped the Red Wings 5-4 in overtime. Former Ranger Ron Duguay with a 2-goal game. They came 46 seconds apart in the opening period. This was his first past Kelly Rudy. 3-1 Detroit after 1. The game winner, that belonged to Pat Flatley. It came just 56 seconds into the overtime, lifting the Islanders to that 4-3 win and spoiling the coaching debut of former Detroit defenseman Brad Park. Also tonight in the NHL, Wayne Gretzky got the hat trick as Edmonton topped Philadelphia 4-3. It was Pittsburgh 8, St. Louis 4. Boston and Buffalo skated to a 6-6 tie. Quebec over Hartford 5-1, and Minnesota topped Calgary 6-3 was the final. College bowl games, the Peach Bowl in Atlanta this afternoon. Army over Illinois, 31-29. The Cadets scored twice on halfback passes. Here's the first one in the second quarter. Halfback William Lampley, 33 yards to Benny White to give Army a 21-10 lead. The Illini scored in the final minute of the game, but when they went for the two-point conversion and the tie, Peel Cronister saved the day, and the Cadets held on for a 31-29 win. Tonight in Birmingham, the All-American Bowl, Georgia Tech over Michigan State, 17-14. And this afternoon in Houston, Air Force won the Bluebonnet Bowl, 24-16 over Texas. Michael Ray Richardson has surfaced, and yes, his absence was drug-related, but no, he will not be banished from the NBA for the next 2 seasons. Richardson turned himself in to New Jersey Nets officials today after missing 2 games. He then flunked his drug test, and it is now expected he will be sent to the NBA Drug Rehab Center in California. He will be suspended from the team without pay, but when he gets out, the Nets will have to take him back. Those are the league rules. Yes, this will be Sugar Ray's 4th trip to a drug rehab center, but the current NBA rules didn't go into effect until September of 1983, and Sugar's previous problems happened before that date, so now he's considered a second-time offender. Aqueduct today, the feature, the 8th race, the display handicap, 2 1/4 miles, a long one, 3 trips past the grandstand. But watch and listen what happened as the horses headed down the stretch for only the 2nd time. Keep an eye on number 8 and jockey Jorge Velazquez.
They're in the stretch, the 2nd of 3 times. In the rough on the rail, still leads by a head. Southern Sultan on the outside is under the whip. Southern Sultan, being urged, now takes the lead by a nut. In the rough on the rail, second by about 5. The rider on Southern Sultan, get back in the saddle.
Velazquez thought the race was over. Can you believe it? Even though he had a lap to go, other jockeys even joined in. Look at him there, thinking their work was done. That is, except Frank Lovato, who guided Aaron Bright from back in the pack all the way to the winner's circle. Happy New Year, everybody. That's sports for 1985. Can you imagine having a ticket on him? You'd want to... Where's the gun?
He's probably drinking some champagne tonight.
Happy New Year, Jorge Velazquez.
Well, can you feel the excitement in the air? The noise, the energy, the anticipation is mounting in Times Square, site of the world's largest New Year's Eve party. And for the people who've been there all day, the end is in sight. And for the others, the party is just beginning. Channel 2's Jane Mitchell has been there for hours and hours and hours, and we join her now for another live update. Jane, through rain, through snow, through sleet, you give us our reports on the holidays. It's great.
That is true. What I thought might be nice right now, Michelle, is just kind of peruse the crowd with our cameras. After all, so many of us have seen reports on this, but it's nice to experience it as a participant. Taking a look at this sign right now, it says California's 7th annual Flies to Times Square. This is a group of people who fly from Anaheim here to New York every New Year's Eve for the last 7 years, and they say they're going to keep on doing it as long as they can. I think that's really quite amazing. It's about a dozen of them that do it, and they have an absolutely fabulous time. Moving to the right a little bit, I thought maybe we could take a look at some of the police officers. As you can see, they are in riot gear with riot helmets. There are 1,300 uniformed police on the ground, and there are also many, many plainclothes police here, and there are police perched on the top of buildings as well. Now, overall, this has been a very, very peaceful crowd, but we have seen just in the last few minutes, to be precise, some arrests. And as soon as they see trouble, and the plainclothes police spot trouble in the crowd, the officers move in and they make the arrest. So that's just a few tidbits as to what's going on here. It's really one of those once-in-a-lifetime things. Even though it happens every year, it is one of those timeless feelings, and I'm rather enjoying it, even though I've been here hours and hours and hours. Michelle?
Thanks, Jane. Happy New Year.
Jane, thanks a lot. That's it for us tonight. Tomorrow on Channel 2 News at 5, we'll get to the heart of the matter of keeping your New Year's resolutions. And Kathy Lee Crosby visits with James Brady. I'm Lester Holt. Thank you for joining us. Good night. Good next year.
Yeah, I'm Michele Marsh. We'll be back tomorrow night for Channel 2 News at 11. Stay tuned now for Happy New Year, America, coming right up on CBS. Good night, and have a happy, healthy, and safe New Year's.
Buick buyers, what you've been waiting for is here. 7.9 GMAC annual percentage rate financing on selected Buick models. See your Buick dealer for details now.
Cosmetic surgery at personal best means free consultations, friendly, caring people, and affordable fees. And only our dress is expensive.
Breadcrumbs. If you think they're all alike, you should taste 4C breadcrumbs with imported Italian Romano cheese. 4C. They're not just breadcrumbs.
Hamburger places serve lots of stuff. From burgers, to fish, to salads, even chicken. But with so much stuff, it's hard to do everything right. That's why at Kentucky Fried Chicken, all we do is chicken. Whether you choose the Colonel's Original Recipe Chicken, Crunchy Extra Crispy, or Kentucky Nuggets. For great tasting chicken, come to the chicken experts. Any other chicken may not be what it's cracked up to be. Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do chicken right.
I remember in the 30s, there may have been more people hungry then, but it never was as desperate as it is today.
Coalition for the Homeless needs your help. Reach out.
If you spot news, call the Channel 2 News toll-free hotline, 1-800-CH2-NEWS. Channel 2 News at 11, portions recorded.